Hello, everyone, and welcome to Social 5 University. I'll be your host today. My name's Kate Drake, and we're going to be talking a little bit about some of the different types of content that you'll see out on different types of social media, and also that we produce here for you at Social 5. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. If you have any questions, feel free to ask as we go along. Sorry about that, little delay there getting started. All right, so now our PowerPoint's up and ready, and we're ready to go. All right, so first off, we're going to talk about what is a post. This is a term that you hear thrown around a lot in social media, and it's kind of nebulous. It doesn't have a really firm definition. It's kind of a generic term that we use to describe just about any type of content that you might share on social media. I've shown an example here of one of our clients' posts that we put together that's just a simple text. In its most basic form, that's what a post is. It's just a simple line of text that you've shared on your social channel. So this one talks about fun back to school projects. If there's anything you'd like to share, email us a picture of your finished product, yada, yada. That's kind of how posting got started. Really, when Facebook and Twitter first got started, that was really all you could share was just text. And obviously that has changed quite a bit. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit. But we still use that term post to refer to just about any type of content or writing or anything that you would post on a social channel. So let's delve a little deeper and find out some of the different types of posts and what types of social channels they tend to work best on. So first, we're going to talk about going beyond just simple text. It's great to post your status update, but it's always more fun if you can, add some dimension to it. So we'll talk about that a little bit. First off, linking to an article is one of the most popular options, especially for businesses. And since you guys are all using social media for business, that's something we really want to delve deeper into. So I've got an example here. This is for a company called TextWire that we do social media for. They do texting for different companies. So if you wanted to set up a texting program, you would contact them. Anyway, so we linked to an article for them. We wrote this tease. The movie San Andreas is sparking conversations about how to prepare for a disaster. One key tip: text first, then talk when trying to reunite with your family. Read more here. So that was the Social 5 staff wrote that. And then we've got this link to an article. It's got a photo and a little more information about, what you're going to be reading about if you click on the article. So here's why you might want to do that. It really helps promote your business as a thought leader. That's one of the things we want to create for you here at Social 5 is we want to make you an industry leader and thought leader in your field. And we want people to look up to you and know that you know what you're talking about. So the whole idea here is that by linking to another source who shares a similar viewpoint or has a helpful tip that you find useful in your business, it's really kind of reinforcing the idea that you know what you're talking about because you're getting a third party to validate your beliefs. One thing that is really important is that you need to make sure you're taking it from an appropriate source. You don't want to be linking to, The Onion or something like that, a fake news source or something that's skewed kind of too far one way or the other or something along those lines. You want to make sure it's a news source that's validated and that it's, you fact checked your article before you send it out. This particular one was from Southern California Public Radio. They're kind of a subdivision of National Public Radio, really reputable news source where, you're going to know that they're going to have news that is, as good as you can get. The other thing that's really great about linking to an article like this is, and some people get, a little frustrated about that. Like, why would I want to link to something that someone else has written? But the whole thing is that it avoids this saturation of self-promotional content that can really become a problem on social media. It's really tempting as you're doing your own social media and as you're trying to market on social media to make it all about you and all about the sale. And by linking to an outside source, it makes it so it's not about you. It's, again, that third party that's kind of reinforcing that same idea and is in that same sphere, but it's not, sell, buy, mentality that's going on. So that's kind of why one of the strategies that we use a lot and why articles are so popular for businesses in particular. Places you might see articles like this posted or posts like this, definitely on Facebook, LinkedIn. You may see some of them on Twitter, though they'll look a little bit different. We'll talk about that in a minute. And you can also see them on things like Pinterest or things like that. So very popular and something that we really recommend jumping into if you want to supplement the posting schedule we have for you with posts of your own. All right, moving on. So is a picture really worth 1,000 words? I, of course, come from a writing background, so I tend to think not. But on social media, it really can be. So let's hop into that and talk about that a little bit. So images are clearly very popular, and they can be used on a lot of social sites. That's a really strong argument in their favor, is that they can be used on most social platforms. So I've got this cute little black lab puppy here, and you can see that how this would show up on someone's Facebook page. This is done on our content preview page before we actually sent it over to the customer. Why would you want to use this? It really lends color and variety to your page. Think about that plain text post that we saw first. It's just simple text. It's just, a black and white. It's almost like reading a document or something. Having this adds a splash of color, it adds dimension, and it is a really great way to add variety to just the text that's on your page. One thing that you want to make sure you do is add a caption that explains your photo. And that's good on just about any post. If you're linking to an article or something like that, you want to put your own thoughts in there so that people understand, first of all, why you thought it was important, but also so it has kind of a tie to your business. This particular post of this picture is for a carpet cleaning company. And so it's kind of like, what does a puppy have to do with carpet cleaning other than that people just like puppies on social media, right? So if you read the caption, though, it says here, sure, he looks innocent, but your carpets and furniture might tell a different story. Drool, dander, and little accidents can really add up. If your carpets and furniture are looking a little rough, it's time to call Blue Ribbon. So again, just really important to tie that back into your business and make sure your clients are understanding why you're posting this on social media. One word of caution here with images. You want to make sure you have the rights to the image that you're posting. A lot of the big image companies like Getty Images or the AP or things like that have started coming after companies who are using their images without permission. That's one of the things that we really sell to you as a benefit of using a Social 5 service, is that we do have an entire library of licensed images that we can use on your behalf in that way. But it's easy to make sure you have a license. Either you post a picture that you've taken yourself, or make sure that it's something that's in the public domain before you post it. And if you have an image that you'd like to get up on social media, but you're not sure how to put that post together, you're welcome to send it over to us, and your writer for your account can take care of it too. So we're always happy to do that for you. All right, YouTube Nation. I don't know about you guys, but my daughter and my two little cousins could sit and watch videos on YouTube all day long. It's really become a behemoth in the social world. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Videos, again, also add dimension and interaction to your page. It's something that's not static like just text. It's much more dynamic and more exciting. This is one that we put together for a company that does heating and cooling, and I wanted to share this with you. So it says, sometimes an electric fan just won't cut it. That's when you call American Heat Cool for all your air conditioner needs. There are other benefits to having a fan, though. For example, and we'll come over here and we'll actually watch this for a minute. It's just a couple seconds. So bear with me while that pulls up.
La, 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 Luke, I am your father.
Okay, so obviously kind of funny. But the whole idea here is that videos are a really great way to add a little bit of humor to your page. In particular, there's so many funny videos out there. I'm sure you guys have seen them in your Facebook feed or on any social media, and they're really just a fun way to show your fun side. You can also show your serious side. I know AT&T recently came out with a really powerful texting and driving advertisement that they've been running on all their social media channels that's asking people not to text and drive. So, whatever your message may be, it can add some dimension to your page and make it a little more exciting that way. One thing that we do caution, though, is that videos do tend to be really time consuming. And, that one obviously was quite short, but, if you have a 2 to 5 minute video that you're posting all the time, it's going to kind of bog down your page and people aren't going to want to spend that much time looking at your stuff. So, make sure you're sprinkling these in, but you don't want to be over posting them. And that's really a great strategy for all these types of posts. You don't want to be relying too heavily on one specific type. You want to be have a nice mixture so that you've got a well-rounded social feed and that it appeals to lots of different audiences. One other cool thing about videos is that you can promote any of the video assets that you may have created on your social channels. So if you have a TV spot, or if you've created a training video, or any type of video asset that you may have, it's really great to share that on your social media. And again, you're welcome to do that, or if you need some help from us, we're happy to do it for you. Just send us the link to the video and we can get it up for you. The other thing you can do is you can pull content from other sources like YouTube and everything. You want to make sure that you're, again, have the rights to display it. Videos aren't as difficult as images that way because they usually link back to an original source, especially on YouTube. So you're usually going to be able to find the official copy of the video that YouTube wants you to link to. So feel free to do that. And if you want, some more videos in your feed, let us know that too. All right. So we talked a little bit about how all these different types of posts are kind of generic and can show up on anything. But I want to talk specifically about what is a tweet, because a tweet is a little bit different and it's kind of its own animal. And you're only going to see that on Twitter. So basically, a tweet is a post that has been specifically formatted to appear on Twitter. I pulled one here from an eco lodge that we in Ecuador that we do social media for, and it says, "Once a year, go someplace you've never been before," from the Dalai Lama. Just a quick quote, just text, really simple, really basic. And really, that's what a lot of tweets boil down to, is because there's a limit of 140 characters. Which makes it really hard. It really makes you get to the point when you're trying to write for Twitter. You really have to distill your idea down into its most basic form. The other thing that's not necessarily unique to Twitter, but it definitely began on Twitter, is hashtags. And you've probably heard us talk about those a ton, but they're very popular on social media. They're really starting to find weight on Instagram. Facebook has enabled them, but you don't see them as often, but they reign supreme on Twitter. So you're going to see just about every tweet that goes out is going to have these hashtags, which is a pound sign before a word or a phrase or whatnot. So, and the reason you want to do that is it makes your tweets searchable. People can put in hashtag whatever, and it will search for that thing and bring up all the tweets that have gone out under that category. And so it's a really great thing for businesses to use hashtags, because then your tweets are going to pop up in people's news feeds and hopefully find viewers that you haven't had before. You can still link to photos, videos, articles and stuff, but you have to be a little shorter in your text, and you got to make sure it fits your character limit. Right here I've got a photo of an owl that this Yachana Lodge posted. They have these amazing nature photos and stuff, so we post stuff for them like that all the time. But you can still include links to different articles. You can include video, photo, whatever. You just have to make sure that you're fitting within that character limit. Now, if you have a really long URL that you want to link to, one thing that you can do is you can go to a URL shortening service like a Bitly or a what are the other ones' names? TinyURL, things like that. If you Googled, URL shortener, you would find something. We have our own URL shortener here at Social5 in-house that takes care of that on the posts that we do for you. But if you're going to tweet on your own, you may need to use something like that if you've got a long URL and it doesn't give you enough space for what you wanted to tweet. All right, so last thing I want to talk about here is the blogosphere. Blogs are generally they tend to be longer articles that contain more information than would fit in a traditional post. I don't know about you guys, but I think everybody has those like cousins or family members or whatever who go off on rants on Facebook or whatever, and they write these like insanely long posts that would take 3 or 4 pages if you were doing it in a Word document, right? But they do it on Facebook, and that's not really the place for that. I always want to tell them, like, you need to get a blog. So I've included a screenshot of one here from one of my favorite writers here at Social 5. He's always really creative. This one in particular is for a cycling team, a bike racing team. And so it's called I'll Be Bike, 3 Celebrities with a Passion for Cycling. And he's tied it into the new Terminator movie that stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is apparently a celebrity who loves biking. So the great thing about a blog is it really gives you a chance to go into depth on a topic. On Facebook or Twitter, where you're limited in your characters, same with Pinterest, LinkedIn, you're kind of reined in a little bit by size constraints. Even on something like Facebook, where you can theoretically write as much as you want to, no one's going to sit through the whole thing, right? They know that when they come to a blog, they're looking to get more in-depth information on a topic, and it's okay that it's going to be longer. The other really cool thing is that you can tease to your blog on all your other social channels. So you can send out a link to your blog on your Facebook page, on your Twitter and whatnot, and hopefully cross-promote that way and discover more users who might be more interested in reading your content. The other thing that's great about blogs is that it can aid in SEO, gives your those search engines out there one more item that have your company name on them. And you can actually do SEO enhanced blogs that will really help draw traffic, but even just a regular blog is going to be helpful. If you ever have blog ideas, you're welcome to send them over to us. We love getting ideas of what you'd like us to write about or whatnot, and you're welcome to send those on over. All right, with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and open it up to any questions that you might have. It looks like we have a few. Can I access my blog okay, I see what you're asking. All right, so this person is asking if they can post a blog on their Social 5 blog, or if we have to do it for them. And unfortunately, we don't have that option right now where our clients can post blogs, mostly because it's a privacy thing and a security thing for our system. But if you have a blog idea, we'd be happy to write it up for you. Or if you have one that you've written yourself, we're totally happy to post it on your blog for you. You can send that over to our content hotline at content@social5.com. Another question here. What about pins on Pinterest? Don't they have to have a picture? That's a really good point. So on Pinterest, you do have to have a photo of what you're pinning. Usually it can be pulled from whatever website you're trying to pin something from, or if you're doing what we call a repin, where you're pulling a pin from someone else, it will use that photo that they've already used. So that's a great question. Thanks. One more question here about the Social 5 microsite. They're wondering how to access that. That's a really common question. So usually that's where all your blogs appear, is on your microsite, unless you have a special plugin to have them appear directly on your website. So your microsite is usually going to be name of your business.social5.net. So like mine for Social 5 is called, it's kate.social5.net, because I'm the only Kate at Social 5. But yours would probably be whatever the name of your business is, .social5.net. And if you're not sure what that is, we're happy to send that on over to you. You can, that's something that our ops team could totally help you with. Just shoot them an email over at support@social5.com, and they can look that up for you and send it right on back. All right, well, looks like that is it, everybody. Thank you so much for attending. If you have any other questions, as always, you're welcome to follow up and ask us. We're happy to have you. And again, we'll be coming to you in a couple weeks here with some more great topics. So we hope to see you again soon. Thanks so much. Bye.